Kevin, thank you so much for joining us on Over the Top Sports Radio. So great to hear from you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, how's retirement life treating you?
Good, man. It's going really well. Just settled down here out back in Bend, Oregon, and just enjoying a little bit slower pace of life and the family. Got a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old, so pretty busy.
That's awesome. And talking about Oregon, I mean, you grew up in Corvallis. You went to school in Western Oregon. Then you're drafted to the NFL, and you come to New York City to play for the Giants. What was that transition like? Was there a type of culture shock in your rookie year? You go from Oregon to New York City.
Yeah, there certainly was on a number of different levels from just living to obviously the game. But yeah, from the little town of Monmouth, Oregon, 5,000 people was the population of our little town there. I grew up in a town of about a little bit less than that as well. So yeah, going from there to New York was quite the jump. As far as like I said, just living and everything that goes along with that, but also going from Division II football to the NFL was probably just as big of a jump. But wouldn't change it for the world, really. I look back at just how fortunate, how blessed I was, how lucky I was to get the opportunity to be drafted by the Giants. Could have gone anywhere else in the country, and now that it's all said and done, I feel pretty lucky that I had the chance to play with New York, and still look back very fondly of those 4 years I was there, and kind of call it our second home. Still try to get back there once a year, visit friends, and looking forward to getting back this year to celebrate the 10-year.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I was talking about that before. 10 years since your rookie season, obviously 2007, winning the Super Bowl, talking with Super Bowl champion Giants tight end Kevin Boss. Kevin, it didn't take long for you to make your mark. Jeremy Shockey on the team in your rookie year. He goes down in November. Right away, you step in for a big personality like that, a big-time playmaker, and you fit right in, and the team just started to soar. What was that like a magic carpet ride in your rookie year? All of a sudden, you're starting and then in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I took that rookie season all year just to prepare, kind of early on. It was almost like a redshirt year where I was, basically almost like a practice squad guy, where I was lifting with those guys and just trying to be as prepared as I could for, if there were to be a situation like that, I wanted to be able to step in and didn't want there to be much of a drop-off. So I took that pretty serious, knowing that I was, just one play away always. And, unfortunately, Jeremy went down there and I had my chance. And, like to say that I tried to make the most of it there.
Kevin, is Eli Manning the best quarterback that you've played with? And do you think he receives the credit that he deserves? Because the three of us here feel like he gets no credit around the NFL.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think he's very underrated. I think he's a Hall of Famer, obviously, and I think he definitely deserves to get more credit for just the success he's had and just the year in and year out, never missing a game. It's pretty remarkable what the career that he's kind of put together. And, he's a guy one of those guys that I'm look back, 10 years from now, when my kids are a little bit older, I'm going to be pretty excited to tell my kids that I played with, Eli Manning. And, I think he's top 5 in the league. And I really think he deserves more credit than he really does get.
Talking with Kevin Boss, former Giants tight end, won the Super Bowl 42 10 years ago. We were just talking about, and take me through the playoffs as you guys gained a lot of confidence in Week 17 against New England. What confidence that gave you, and then going into Tampa Bay as it started to build, and is this something that just crescendoed into being able to pull off that upset in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, like you said, I think it really started with that Week 17 game against the Patriots. We went into that game with just Coughlin from the get-go said that we're playing our starters and just didn't even really second-guess it. And, he was our leader, and we followed him and went into that game. And I'm looking back, we were all very thankful that he did take that approach of playing his starters and play to win, and because we had already clinched. But that game gave us tremendous confidence going into the playoffs, and we kind of look back at that game, kind of being the beginning of kind of that playoff run, even though it wasn't really quite the playoffs yet, but it jump-started us, and like I said, it gave us great confidence to go play on the road, and it was pretty remarkable to look back at that team, the Patriots that season of all their superstars, and to look back and see, felt like we were the only ones that really believed that we could do it. And I think, like I said, it started with that Week 17 game, and then when we played them in the Super Bowl, we went into that game with really, really tremendous confidence, just knowing that we just almost knocked these guys off, and felt like we could certainly beat these guys at a neutral place.
Absolutely loved Call Quinn's decision playing you guys Week 17. It was humongous. Now let's get into Super Bowl 42, the greatest Super Bowl of all time in my book. A lot of people's favorite Super Bowl of all time. You took down the 18-0 Patriots, and you had a huge catch in that fourth quarter. It was a catch till this day that I brag about to my friends. It was a huge catch that began the first touchdown scoring drive in that game. It gave you guys a 10-7 lead. Take us into that reception.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't a play that was necessarily in our game plan for the game. It was just something that we kind of recognized during the game that they weren't really respecting kind of me running down the seam. And so, Rodney Harrison was constantly trying to cheat up, stop the run. Adalius Thomas was jamming me off the line of scrimmage pretty good, giving me a hard time with a clean release, and so put me in a little kind of short motion there and to give me a little space to get a clean release. And like we suspected, Rodney Harrison was kind of already cheating down it, so I was able to just kind of run right by him. And it was just a pretty basic seam route from there, and it was just one of those opportunities that I feel pretty fortunate that I was able to play a small role in such a big game.
And let's get into the big play of that game. It's 3rd and 5, 1:15 to go on your own 44. Eli drops back, and he's getting swarmed by those Navy jerseys. Somehow he spins out, and he completes that pass downfield to Tyree, who miraculously catches it off his helmet. Harrison draped all over him. This is undoubtedly the greatest play in Super Bowl history in my eyes. What was going through your mind during that play, and did you feel like you were going to win the game after that?
I was on the sideline for that play, and the play just seemed like it took an eternity. It was just seemed like it kept going and going. The ball felt like it floated in the air forever. Once he came down with that and realized that it was actually a legit catch, I think from there we were like, okay, we're gonna do this, because that was just unbelievable. Like you said, without a doubt, the best play in Super Bowl history.
And we have Kevin Bosch joining us, Super Bowl champion, New York Giant, former tight end. And Kevin, you said in an article that you had 5 diagnosed concussions, that you walked away from the game due to those concussions. Do you feel the NFL has done enough to prevent them from happening and protect the players today?
I think they're trying to do a better job. I still think there's miles and miles to go. I appreciate that they are doing their due diligence and trying to make it a safer game, but ultimately it's a high collision, high impact game that there's really nothing that you can really do to lessen that. So I think they're doing a good job of trying to instill some things with the different doctors there at the games, kind of watching as a third party, trying to identify concussions from up in the booth. But I still watch the game, and I'm shocked by, when I see guys that I know are obviously concussed to some degree and going back in the game or not being pulled out of the game. I'm always baffled by that. I think they need to do a better job with that and just making sure that, guys are pulled out when they are concussed or dinged, as we like to call it. But yeah, it's something that's near and dear to my heart. Obviously, it took my career away from me, and something that I am passionate about, and want to see guys, get through the league and get through safely and healthy, and realize that there's more to life after football. It's hard when you're in it to realize that there is more important things in life outside of the game. When you're in it, you have tunnel vision, and it's just everything outside of football just seems minuscule. But once the game is over and past, and you're forgotten about, and you realize that there's a lot of life left. I just hope that guys start to think more clearly and make some right decisions when it comes to their brain. It's not like a knee surgery that you can go get a knee replacement. So something obviously that I worry about as my kids. I got 2 young boys, and my wife and I talk all the time about if we're going to let them play football, and quite honestly, I'm not sure if I will.
And Kevin, talking about the post-NFL career, you're working a lot with younger players, younger athletes trying to make it to the next level. What's that been like for you? Is that satisfying when people are there looking up to you and you're able to help them move to the next level? Yeah,
you know what? I truly feel like I'm doing what God put me on this earth to do. I really feel extremely passionate about what I'm doing now and helping kids, mentoring kids, not only through strength and conditioning, but just as a positive mentor in these kids' lives. And it's something that I feel like I said, that I really think is my calling, and I just feel like, football kind of gave me a bigger platform to reach more kids, and I couldn't be happier with what I'm doing right now and my kind of post-football career.
And one more question, boss, man. Let's take us back to the sideline, the locker room. The following season after Super Bowl 42, you guys looked unstoppable. You guys were 10-1, stomping all over your opponents. And then Plaxico Burress shot himself. The Giants finished the last 5 games 2-3 without him, and then lost to the Eagles in the playoffs. What was going on during that time with you, Coach Coughlin, Eli, and the rest of that locker room after Plax's accident?
I mean, number one, we were all very concerned about Plax and his well-being and safety, and but yeah, it was just an unfortunate situation that we were obviously playing good football, and I don't like to try to put the whole thing on Plax like that. We lost because we didn't have him, because we had plenty of other good receivers. We just looking back at that game, we hosted a playoff game against the Eagles, obviously an opponent that we know very well, and just didn't get it done. So unfortunate that we felt like we were built for another Super Bowl run, and so that was a hard kind of pill to swallow, realizing that, especially watching. I remember sitting at home watching that Super Bowl, the Cardinals versus the Steelers, and realizing that we'd beaten both of those teams at their place. So, I try not to look back at my career in any sort of glass half empty. I always try to look at it as a glass half full thing, and realize how fortunate and how blessed I was to be able to play a game for a living and set me up for a good life afterwards.
Yeah, well, I thought that was your best team personally that you guys have had in a long time, but at least you got Super Bowl 42 under your belt before then. Kind of softens the blow. But
yeah, absolutely. Can't be greedy.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. Our producer, Goon, you haven't heard from him. I think he's been DMing you. He still wears your jersey all the time. So still got a couple of big fans over here in New York. And we definitely appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. No, I really, that's one thing that I miss most is just the true fans and guys like you and your group there. That's really what I miss a lot about, just obviously the team and the competition and the camaraderie piece of that, but yeah, just the interaction with the fans and you guys. I mean, you played in Oakland and played in Kansas City, and the fans you can't beat them. You guys are the best. So tell your producer put that jersey in the mail, I'll sign it for him and send it back. So let's coordinate that.
Oh, thanks so much, Kevin, and maybe we'll catch up with you as soon as the season progresses. But thanks so much for your time.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Kevin Boss, former Giants tight end, Super Bowl champion, joining us on Over the Top Sports Radio. I'll take a quick break, and we'll come back. We're going to break down the NFC North, talk some baseball, and then get into some boxing. Big fight this week. So be right back with you in just a moment.
Manning will throw for it. Right up the middle. Got his man. Kevin Boss. Boss still on the move. Inside the 20. Inside the 15 to the 10-yard line. Well, how happy is Eli to have Kevin Boss back in the lineup? Second and goal. Pass is caught for the touchdown. Kevin Boss. Diving catch for his 4th touchdown reception of the year. Manning steps up, throws to the end zone, and Kevin Boss makes the catch for a Giants touchdown. Manning, quick pass to Boss. Boss breaks free, first down, 10, 5, touchdown. Kevin Boss with his 3rd receiving touchdown of the season, and the Giants go on top 24-20. Well, get the football to a guy and then see if he can make a play. And that's what Kevin Boss does right there. He breaks the tackle, a good stiff arm, and then it's a pretty easy jaunt into the end zone.